Hello YouTubers, and today I'm going to be reviewing History of the Daleks set number 4. So this is the Daleks Master Plan one. So before I go into actually reviewing the actual figures themselves, let's take a look at the backdrop of the packaging. So you can see here, this is meant to be sort of like the Dalek oh no, well, it's one of the various sets that doubles as other sets in the story, but this might be like the Dalek control room. You can see the corridors there, which look far too small for the Daleks, really. Looks a bit zoomed out, but still though, always nice to have a custom backdrop for these. And if we take a look at the information on the back of the box, you can read all that in your own time if you want to. But without further ado, let's actually review this set. So unfortunately my Dalek eye stalk for the Supreme is extremely bent, so boiling water trick should solve that. The eyes do seem a bit stiffer in this one, in these ones actually. But yeah, both of these figures I have actually gone into detail and reviewed before. So rather than doing, you know, brand new full reviews on them, because the other ones are still pretty relevant, what I'll be mainly doing in this one is just comparing them to their original release. So if we take a look here, we've got the original release of the Flamethrower Dalek and its re-release counterpart next to it. And to be honest, yeah, they've actually released it with a flame, which is something I did actually wonder whether or not they would do. So first of all, let's talk about the differences. So for one, we've got the egg cup style dome lights on the top here, which is nice. The original release didn't have that because they didn't exist at the time, but also this time around they've also gave it the correct eye stalk with the correct amount of rings around it. They've also, for some reason, again they've done this with this one as well, from the Chase, they've given it a lighter shoulder section, which they really shouldn't be doing. You know, if anything, it might be a tiniest bit lighter. For the most part, in pictures I've seen, it looks to be this darker grey colour, but yet this is far too light. It's almost a white colour. If you look at it on its own, then it looks fine, but as soon as you compare it to its original release or any of the other 60s Daleks, it just looks far too much out of place, and it's this obsession with doing variants for the sake of variants. I mean, the thing is, literally the only things that you really needed to do with this release was give it the egg cup dome lights, which they did. And this is the baffling thing. Why have they given it, in fact, even lighter, they look even lighter blue hemispheres than the original release. If we just compare the two of them there, the hemispheres look even lighter this time around. Like for the Chase Dalek that was released at B&M, they gave it darker hemispheres, and technically they should be darker than the one that they gave the Chase Dalek, but yeah, why have they given it a lighter blue? It shouldn't be a lighter blue, it should be the darker blue colour. It doesn't make sense. And what's even more baffling, in the same set, they've given the Supreme Dalek the correct darker hemispheres, so why haven't they done it with the Flamethrower? I really don't get this. Why have they done this, or not done this, I should say. Now, taking a look at the two flames for the two Daleks, initially I thought there was no difference with the two of them. However, there is a slight difference in person. This one's more of a red, and this one's more of a lighter orange. I mean, it's still removable and packaged loosely, so if we remove both of them, you can see that there's not a lot of difference, but the new release is definitely a darker red than the old release. Also, the connection part here that plugs in is actually clear, but as you can see here, you can still have him displayed without the flame, but it is nice that they did include the flame, otherwise it would look a bit weird without it, and would also subtract from some of the coolness about it. So yeah, I know a lot of people were looking forward to getting a Flamethrower Dalek again. So For that, I can say, you know, despite this and this, then, yeah, to be honest, pretty happy with this. Now, let's get on to the Supreme Dalek with the bent eye stalk. So, here, if I put plop next to it, here is the Toys R Us original version compared to the re-release. And to be honest, the Toys R Us version is just superior. It just is. It just is superior, to be honest, in every single way. So for one, I mean, just look at the MIG section here. That, I mean, the MIG section in pictures may be the tiniest bit lighter, but for the most part is the same, because generally they won't repaint the MIG section a lot, to be honest. For one, it was covered in the slats, so generally the MIG section was mostly left alone. It was mainly the skirts and the domes that were normally repainted. So yeah, having it this almost white colour, no. No, sorry, that's just incorrect. The hemispheres and that are the same, and also the black, I don't know, slightly different. This one seems to be more of the darker sort of jet black, and this one's more of a chalky black, but another difference is obviously in the eyes. So taking a look at them from the side here, you can see this one, you've got the black extending all the way, and this one it's just on the joint. And which one is more accurate? I'll be honest, it's kind of a little bit in the middle. This one has slightly too much black, and this one doesn't have enough. So to be honest, it's kind of a draw there, with the two Daleks. It should be a tiny bit of black going onto here, but not. To be honest, actually, this one might be accurate, because the thing is, I think it changes depending on what episode it's in. So to be honest, both of them could technically be accurate, because the amount of black on the eye kind of does change a little bit throughout the story. At least from the telesnaps I've seen in the recons. But there is a more glaring issue. No! Why are you bloody doing this? Now, I know this was going to be part of one wave, so to be honest, you know, if they were planning to have half the Daleks have the smaller eye, then really by the time this set was getting released there was nothing to do about that. But it shouldn't have it in the bloody first place. This one should, and the only way to fix this one is to paint it, because you can't swap it with any of the other eyes, because you'd still get the silver and you'd have to paint that bit black anyway. So yeah, I know it's a minor issue, but it just really, really bothers me, especially on the Supreme Dalek, which doesn't have the camera lens in the eye. In fact, none of the ones in Master Plan or the Chase had the lens in the eye, so they shouldn't have it. Now, there was something that I did touch upon in my previous review on History of the Daleks set number 3. And that was with this Dalek here. So, this Dalek again shouldn't have the small pupil, should have a regular sized one. But the thing is, what if you want an army build? You don't want an army build and Dalek army of small pupils. So be honest, here is what I am going to be doing, and what is the much better value I'm doing as well. Because with these, yeah, if you want army build 60s Daleks with regular eyes, do not buy History of the Daleks set 3s. Buy more History of the Daleks set 4s. And the reason is because of the... Where's the other flamethrower Dalek? I'm looking at it. What the hell am I talking about? So, what you can do is get the eye stalk on this one is correct for 60s eye from that era. And what you can simply do is swap the flamethrower arm and the Supreme Dalek plunger arm, swap them over, and there you go. You will have a 60s Dalek with, you know, the proper sized eye and the plunger. Because the only Daleks that should have the small pupil, you know, the only Daleks that actually had the camera lens in the eye, was the original Dead Planet Daleks. One of them had that. It was Dalek 3, and I think it was Dalek 1-7 in Power that had the camera lens in the eye. Those are the only two that should have it throughout, you know, the classic era. Now, let's not continue with this. Please do not continue this. I can understand why they did it on other ones. I know some people like the smaller people. It's just like, ooh, it's nice, but yeah, I don't like my Daleks to have, you know, tiny eyes 100% of the time. It does irritate me. And it's annoying that character no longer sells on their website anymore. And you might be thinking I may be picking on these a lot, but the thing is, so much is made in basically Alduar's, when Alduar talks about these, you know, how they're trying to get them as accurate to the props as possible. Well, if you're going to make that claim, then I'm going to review it as such, and I'm not going to let you off for things like that if you're going to claim that. Especially when you got it right previously. Also, these ones don't have scuffing on the fenders either. Does that really bother me? No, not really. A lot of to be honest, the thinner skirts generally didn't really have much scuffs on them most of the time, or very, very few. It was only really noticeable on Dalek Invasion of Earth ones because they've got a much larger fender, so there's much more area to scratch. So yeah, do I recommend this set? Yes. But just remember, you're not getting that Dalek. I just realised. You're getting this one. So yeah, the Supreme Dalek, disappointing. The Flamethrower one, I do really like. But again, the MiG section and the shoulder section should really be better. But anyway, that does it for this review. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.